Have you ever wanted to run over a kid? Because that's how I feel when I'm driving and a bunch of little kids on e-bikes and e-scooters are all over the place. So let's talk about it. Now, guys, I do want to give a disclaimer because I know, you know, e-bikes and e-scooters, if you're disabled, if you have health issues, if you're old, or if you just want to enjoy zooming across town, I totally get that. Dirt bikes can be expensive too, etc., etc. Vespas can be expensive too. Even some bikes, like mountain bikes, can be expensive. So sometimes might as well just put that money towards an e-bike and e-scooter. Guys, I understand that, but that's not really the issue at hand. The issue is more so minors and safety issues with the whole e-bike, e-scooter thing. Now, I'm sure back in the day, the 80s, no, I'm just kidding. When dirt bikes and all that stuff was becoming popular, I'm sure there were just as many incidents and annoyances with kids not properly being safe with on the road and with other drivers and with pedestrians. I understand that, all right? That there's always been issues with cars and cyclists and dirt bikes. I get that. But I do want to talk about one example of when I was driving and there was a cyclist behind me. So when I was driving, all right, this couple on their bike adjacent to my car, so kind of like in kitty corner of my car, they were smiling and looking over, and my mom was like, "Those two better not go behind our car." Oh, no, they did. They did. They had no remorse. They were right behind my car. I couldn't see anything besides their dumb faces going in my rear view mirror. And then they eventually decided that the traffic was too boring. Ugh, this road is too boring for us cyclists. So they went into the sidewalk, and it was like, how is that legal? How I sound so old, but like, how is that legal? How? But guys, I have more examples. Because yesterday I was shopping at Target. Yesterday I was shopping at Target, and when I was driving out, these two girls who look like they're not even 16, okay? Which, side note, unrelated, they were wearing crop tops and leggings. And listen, I'm not the fashion police, I'm not their mother, but what? I don't really think that's appropriate for children. Like, is that just me? Let. But anyway, these two girls, one of them was on the e-bike, and keep in mind, there's only one part of this parking lot at Target where you can get in and out. So a bunch of cars on Labor Day, yesterday, are coming in and out of the Target parking lot, and this girl, she's on her e-bike, and then the friend behind her is struggling to hold onto her waist because she's carrying two Starbucks drinks. What made you think that was a good idea, fitting two people on an e-bike with Starbucks drinks? And they didn't have helmets, they didn't have long sleeves, literally nothing. Okay? Like, if they fall, they're done for. And they couldn't get on the bike, like, they couldn't balance themselves, so they kept, like, sticking their leg out, trying to get on the bike, while one of the girls was holding to two Starbucks drinks. And then the other girl was trying to, like, hold onto the thing. And I was so confused. And then, I'm not saying this is funny, but the one girl with the Starbucks drink fell over at like the part intersection that everyone gets in and out of Target. She fell over and spilled her Starbucks drink. Those drinks are like $5. Like, it's not funny, but I really don't understand the thought process, you know? So then I'm like, okay, they get out of the way, I keep driving, and then as I'm at like the actual intersection to get back home on the highway, I see three people, all of which look like they're not even 20 years old. okay? And they're all on e-bikes, and I'm like, Bella, maybe they just like e-bikes. Relax. So I see an e-scooter, an e-bike, all within the span of like 2 minutes, and I'm like, well, there's no way I'm gonna see more, right? No, because as I'm turning, I see an e-scooter zoom into Aldi, and I was like, okay, so I just saw 3 e commercial via whatever in the span of like 2 minutes, whatever. So I keep driving down the road, la 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 la, and a couple of minutes away from my house, I'm on this. Well, it's not a highway, but I'm going 30 miles an hour, which is the speed limit, and this road, the speed limit should be higher, but because there's like houses and whatever. So I was going down this road 30 miles an hour, and I see this guy in the middle of the road, and he's on an e-scooter. No long sleeves, no pants, no helmet, nothing. So I'm like, no way. No way within 10 minutes I see 3 e-scooters and an e-bike. There's just no way. I'm living in the Twilight Zone, or maybe my town is just this weird. Like, there's no way. But he gets onto the sidewalk, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, at least he's letting me pass. He starts going faster than me on the sidewalk. He's going 30, 35 on the sidewalk. And I'm like, you, you just, what? Like, in my town, there's people's driveways, but there's also little pieces of the street where there's sidewalk, street, sidewalk, street, like literally every single block. So listen, if you're on a vehicle and you want to like zoom past people, okay, go ahead, I guess. But on the sidewalk? What? On the sidewalk? And then another time, a few weeks ago, I was walking to work and or I was walking to work. What am I saying? I was just going on a walk, and I had my headphones in, and all of a sudden, I always stay in the same lane when I'm on the sidewalk, and this sidewalk was pretty big, but I'm on the right side of the sidewalk. This guy on the left, zoom, 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 past me, and I was like I actually like went, because like I got scared. I was like, what is that? And this kid going right past me, no helmet, going right across the street, not looking for cars, and he just zooms past me. Like, that doesn't make what? And it's just like, why would you do that? Because I'm standing there, again, and it's like, I was told that when you're on a bike and when you're both going the same way and there's someone in front of you, you slow down, you say, oh, on your left, and then you speed up and go. That's when we're on your sidewalk. But apparently this kid was like, I'm not going to slow down next to this random person. No, in fact, I'm going to go the exact same speed. Faster, if not as fast, as traffic. Like, it was crazy. This kid on a scooter was going as fast as the cars. And I'm just like, your reaction time better be the reaction time of like an F1 racer. Because there's no way you can perfectly not get hit or something, And then my last example, all these examples have happened just within the last like month of this summer, keep in mind. My brother came home upset because his friend's e-bike got stolen at Walmart. Now, could anybody's bike get stolen at Walmart? Yeah, it's Walmart. But he should have used the locked, okay, and maybe don't give children, because keep in mind, my brother is like 15, his friend is 15. Maybe don't give kids or teenagers and let them use this stuff. in public without safety and blah blah blah. Because yeah, I'm sure a lot of teenagers want e-bikes and e-scooters so that they can get from point A to point B faster before getting a car. I understand that. But if you're not going to be safe about it, if you're not going to properly use it, if you're not going to look where you're going, if you're not going to slow down for pedestrians, blah 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 blah. So the main problem I have with e-bike and e-scooter takeover, mainly e-scooter, I is, if someone wants to use it for fun, regardless of disability or age or health issues, that's fine. But if you're gonna use it, be respectful. Because there's a lot of disrespect and just like issues with safety on the road and on the sidewalk because they're interchangeable for e-scooters apparently. And I've had problems with cyclists and all that kind of other stuff. And it's just weird. It's really, really weird. Uh, the last thing I have to say about this, oh, that was weird. The last thing I have to say about this is just follow the rules of the road. I mean, in Illinois, they are apparently banning children from using e-bikes and e-scooters because they don't follow the rules of the road. And when I say minors, I'm not just talking about 16, 17-year-olds. I'm talking about like people who can't drive yet, people who apparently don't have mothers to teach them to look both ways on the road because they just want to have the pavement painted with their blood. Guys, like really, really think about it. I don't care if I'm being really gross by saying that. Seriously think about your face with blood on the pavement because when you don't follow like the smallest ounce of safety, like do I think you need to wear a helmet if you're on a regular bike or if you're just on the sidewalk? No. But when you're going 30 miles an hour on the road and on the pavement and you're not, you're paying attention, but like, are you really? You should probably wear a helmet, If you're on a dirt bike, if you're going the same speed as a dirt bike, actually, if you're going faster than 10, 15 miles an hour, wear a helmet. Okay? And I know you guys are probably thinking that I sound like super old and, oh, I'm just shaking my fist at this generation. But guys, this has always been an issue. It's just something that I've noticed more recently with specifically e-scooters. More, not really e-bikes, but mostly e-scooters. And I mean, it's like, I understand using technology to our advantage, but are you really, but some of you guys, I'd say like 70% of people that I see on these e-scooters are not even 20 years old. So most of you guys, not all of you guys, but most of you guys are like just being lazy. That plain and simple. Is driving a car lazy? Okay, technically. But do you really need to have an e-scooter to bike or to scoot vroom vroom a mile to the gas station or to Target or whatever? Because that's honestly giving Wall-E. Remember in Wall-E? I'll put it on the thumbnail, but like how in Wall-E everybody is just obese, addicted to their screens, and has no it just does not use their brain at all. I'm not saying the people who use these e-scooters are obese or whatever, but like in terms of do you actually need that? It's kind of turning into a Wall-E issue, a Wall-E world, if you will, where people are just being lazier and lazier, and I just don't understand it. I'd rather I don't have any health issues or whatever, so personally I don't, maybe I'm wrongfully judging people, but I feel like most people my age also don't have health issues, and I feel like I'd rather invest in a good mountain bike or at least follow the rules of the road on a $1,000 scooter, That's just me though. I don't know. Do you guys think it's like kind of a Wall-E situation when young people are using this stuff that they, for the most part, don't need really? Or do you guys think it relieves some of the pressure off of parents to have to drive their kids everywhere? Or do you think that children should be given some kind of teaching or class by their parents for basic safety? And what about respect on the pavement and on the road with drivers and pedestrians with these e-scooters and e-bikes and cyclists? Because I don't really like cyclists. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. That's it for this video, and thank you for listening to my rant. More or less a rant, okay? So have an awesome day, guys, and yeah, bye!